Hey,
We are
and we are
live.
live. Yes, God is good.
Yes,
Yeah, I
all the
hope
time.
everybody, yes, I hope everybody is doing well. So, welcome here. Today, I'm so blessed to have my brother with me. We just try to talk about a few things about mindset. Otherwise, welcome here in the name of God. Yeah, we just here and we hope that will be a blessing to you. So, thank you for tuning in. And even for those who will watch this later, we pray that God's of peace and grace will just be with you. Otherwise, my name is McKenna. I am a Kenyan living in the US, a mom of three, a pastor, and a digital business owner. I'm so grateful to God for this far. God has carried me. I am experiencing the full grace of God in my life, and I'm so grateful. So, my brother, welcome here. Um,
Thank you.
Maybe for the people, because it's your first time to be on my page, kindly introduce yourself.
Awesome, fantastic, fantastic, Pastor, and fantastic for inviting me to be here on your page. I am so happy and grateful to be here, and I'm looking forward to such awesome time. I know we're gonna have a good moment. And my name's Dismas Ndiga, and all my friends call me DC. And I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I also do trucking business. As you can see, I am moving right now, so I call it. I am on what I call. I am a road warrior. I move around the U.S. a lot, and at the moment, I am in a place called New York, upstate New York, and so I am very happy to be here, and I'm looking forward for what God has in store for us to share. So, with that being said, I'll give it back to you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I know we've shared a lot about this business, and you've really helped me in so many ways in terms of mindset and all that. Because our topic today is a mindset shift. And as I was preparing for this, I saw somewhere where it was written that mindset is the soil and business is the seed. I remember this all reminded me how I started before I joined this business, how I had
Mhm.
fear and doubt. And I was like, do you think this will work? I know for you it's different, but most of the time I kept on asking, "Hey, oh God, what am I getting into?" Even after prayer, because I prayed a lot before I started this business, but still inside me, I was like, "Oh, McKenna, what am I getting myself into? Is it legit or not?" So, so far I can say that is where I'm not there. Already I have overcome that. But I want to ask you, before you joined this business, how would you describe your mindset
See, there's two things
before?
that that I'm bring your viewers also to bring to understand. There's mindset and there's mind shift. And when you look at a mindset, it's just the way the word says, is where your mind is set. So I think most of us, especially for us Christians, there are things that we've never been taught very well to understand certain things. When the Bible is talking about certain things, just to understand them from a principle perspective. So we do a lot of what I call religious, and we miss out on so many things that are on a principle based. And yet the word of God is a principle. It's principle. In fact, when it tells you that we don't wrestle against uh, flesh and blood, the first thing it says you
Mm-hmm.
wrestle against principalities. Principalities based on principles. The principles you're breaking, they become principality. So there's two things that makes when I say break is two things that I want you to understand. First of all, you are a spirit having human experience. The other way around, people think you are a human trying to be spiritual. It's almost like you're saying you're a human searching for God. That's That's one aspect of your mind, which is your left side of your mind, that will think you are only human. On your right side of your mind, they call it right hemisphere, is literally your spirit and imagination and intuition. That's the side that knows you the way God has created you to be. Because God is telling us He has made us in His likeness and in His image. Now, based on the environment you grew up in, your mind gets set by that environment. It's called heterosuggestion because that environment gives you heterosuggestion, meaning based on how your parents believed, based on the teachers you went through, the environment, the community you are in, the schools you went to, even your whatever religion sect you came in. If you're a Muslim, you believe is you're gonna believe as a Muslim because that's the environment you grew up in. If you're a Christian and you grew up in a Christian home, that all also hetero suggestions that literally before you are the age of 7, your mind was just open. It didn't have no program. Nothing was programmed in there. By the time you get to age 7, you haven't even developed your conscious mind to reject and pick and choose. You just picking what your environment. You're literally a product of your environment, and your mind is set according to that environment. That's why sometimes later on, even when you start reading the Word of God, you know what to do, but you're not doing what you want to do. You remember Paul would have this challenge of saying, "The thing that I will to do, I don't do it. The thing that I don't want to do, I end up doing it." It's because the mind is set. What makes you do what you don't want to do is where it is set at. Now, if you want to now become, I like you are talking about, you better start this channel on YouTube, and you talked about Romans 12. And it's amazing what Romans 12 is telling you to do for you to have a shift. Because what you want is a mind shift. And then I'll come to your question. The mind shift means Romans 12 will say something like, do not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You see, the word
Yes.
transform is what
Mm-hmm.
a shift is because it's two words. Trans, go past the form you are in now. Because the
Yes.
form you are in now is just the way a man thinks, so he's he. So now it's telling you
Yes.
get out of that, renew that so that you can have a mind shift, so that now you can have new sets of beliefs. So for me, the actual truth is this journey started 15 years ago. I started shifting my mind 15 years ago. So I've been going to businesses, I've done different businesses until I found this one. And this one found me now in the process of that mind shift. I've been shifting. So when I came to this business, I brought that shift into this business. I came knowing that, what I mean? I just said, oh, I was looking at this is a vehicle I've been looking for a long time. Now it has found me because all the preparation in the mind shift I've been going through, it has helped me to get here. So I'm not when I came here, I appreciate a lot of things that to me that I didn't know is that I didn't know the technical side of this. I never done business online business like this one before. I've never done this automation. I wasn't a computer savvy. I wasn't all those things is what now I'm learning and I'm appreciating. Now what I bring to the table is the mind. I've been shifted the mind. I've set my mind now differently from what I used to be. Because if you met me 15 years ago, I was totally different being than I am now. I would just use that analogy that I'm a new being completely. I've reconstructed everything that I used to believe, how I used to think. That has been reconstructed in this difference. So when I came in this business, I literally came with an intention. I went to a coaching call. My coach can tell you, I had already 9 things that I've already committed myself. I'm coming here to do. One of it is that I said my beliefs. I'm coming here to win. I came here to say I'm
Yes.
winning.
Mm-hmm.
I said I'm coming with a can attitude. I came up. I'm here to learn to be competent in everything that I need to learn. Those things I'd already said 9 different things that I'm gonna be disciplined. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I came for her to hold me accountable for my 9 things that I'd already put in people on paper that I wanted to do. And I said, I'm coming here to you help me build a business and also hold me accountable to this. This is a standard that I'm bringing to this business.
Yes.
Because long time I had a mentor and they told me people don't suffer or fail because of anything. They just fail because of lack of a standard. Once you set a standard, you can know how to keep recalibrating. So I came with a standard setup. Now I just
Mm-hmm.
needed to know the technical side of it and then do the business. So that's where I was when I came in.
Wow, wow, wow. That is really powerful. Somebody like me, I came when I was not really prepared. All what I knew was I needed to change my life. So this takes me to the second question. Because for me, I have been in this business for 15 months now. But I want to tell you because sometimes we always like telling the truth and being honest in this business. But I want to tell you that I started the business. The will was there. I wanted to change my life, but I still, because I started skeptical with the fear, but still I carried that fear with me. Despite of the change that I wanted, still I carried that for almost 10 months. I could be very far with this business, but the question is, can you share a moment when you almost let fear or skepticism stop you from saying yes? I know you've already said that you had a shift, mind shift for 15 years. But maybe for somebody out there, you can maybe relate to somebody out there, even if it's not you directly. But do you think that can really affect somebody who is in business or who is desiring to join the business?
Yes, that is a very awesome question. And the truth of the matter is, when I first looked at the information, just like anything else, it first looked so too good to be real. I looked at it, and especially the fact that I was seeing an ad from a Nigerian, very young, beautiful lady. My mind, the first thing thought, these Nigerians, man, when they believe in this being, I'm looking at them like she can't be doing this right. This gotta be a scam or something. I'm thinking, why would a beautiful young lady like this one be doing a scam? That's my first inclination was this can be real. You know what I mean? I didn't know nothing about it. Like I said, this was the first time I'm exposed to it. So when I looked at it, even when I reached out to her, I wasn't reaching out to really start the business. I really was curious. Why would you be a beautiful young woman want to be a scammer? And because there was two things. I said it has to be a scammer. It can't be real. And the information she was talking about, because and you can see where I was. She was talking about she had been in the business for about almost 3 years now at that point, and in 5 months, she had walked away from her career where she had gone to school, had a master's degree to have her career, and it took her 5 months to replace it. And then now she's talking about after 2 years, she had built a hotel in Nigeria. So to me, I'm like, oh my goodness, this lady here, man, what she think is she talking to? So I went up there to ask her, why would you want to be a scammer? Man, such a beautiful. I'm almost wanting to save her to the Lord. I'm thinking, can I come and save this lady, man? She don't need to be a
Yeah.
scammer. She can live right. And to my big surprise was, and I love how God works things out. So she told me, you know what, I am not one, but I don't want you to take my word for it. Go to my Facebook. My name's are so and so. Go verify me, and then we can talk. So literally, I could have said no. If it was somebody else, maybe I could have said no. If they didn't have the when she gave me the evidence of a journey, it helped me a lot to see. Okay, whoa, and I could see in the beginning she couldn't even talk. She was introvert. She couldn't even. I could see
Yeah.
how her beginning videos, and I could see, oh my goodness, this lady has come a long way. So yes. So I always tell people, there's nothing wrong with being a skeptic. There's nothing
Mm-hmm.
wrong with it. It just means you're a thinking person. It's good to
Yeah.
think, and we've seen so many people, even from a biblical perspective. Even the father of faith, he didn't start out with a big faith. He just
Yes.
believed in the beginning, and he left the people that he knew. But as soon as he came to the first barrier, the thing that he didn't understand, he shifted his mind and he started thinking, oh my goodness, these people, if I tell them the truth, they're going to take my wife away. They're going to kill me because they will want my wife. So he said, this is my sister. But this is the man of faith. So you can see it's okay. And if you look at how he progressed, how Abraham had progressed, the same thing I tell people. Doubt, have all that skepticism, and also have a mind to verify. Have a
Mm-hmm.
spirit that you can take it to the Lord and let the Lord give you, open your eyes. I remember when Haggai was she thought she didn't have resources. She was in the wilderness and she's thinking it's over. And she thinks that, but when the angel came, the angel was so mad with her. She's like, why you so, why, we only came because of the Lord.
Yeah.
Meaning, and where she was still standing, that's where the resources were. The angel
Yeah.
just had to open her eyes. So sometimes I say, even in your skepticism, ask the Lord to open your eyes so that you don't
Yes.
miss a moment where it could have been your blessing, but because of your own own closed mind, you miss out. God
Yes.
could be answering your prayer at that point, and because you don't have the intuition enough to go out and say, you know what, Lord, this is how I see it. But if I am wrong, help me open my
Mhm.
eyes so I can see it if it's for me or not. So that's what I'll say with that situation.
Wow, yeah, that really good. Yeah, that reminds me because before I joined the business, actually, I really went into prayer. Even with my skepticism and the fear and all that, I told God, if this is right, please help me so that my fear will not let this go, that I'll be able to join this business. And there, and then the Holy Spirit was like, yes, go for it. I am with you. And that's why I keep on going back. Yeah.
And I'll also say something else before you continue. You see, it's the
Mhm.
same thing. Anytime God is calling you into anything, if it doesn't scare you, most likely it's not God. It's your own
Yes.
small mind trying to keep yourself small. Because if you
Mhm.
just go with your own self, your own inclinations, your own ego, your own flesh doesn't want to go to things that are, it wants only the things that are familiar, not the things that are not familiar to it. Because your own
Yes.
ego thinks if you go to the things that are not familiar, then guess what? It thinks you're in danger. It wants to save you. So anytime God
Mhm.
calls you into anything, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna scare you. It's gonna look like, oh, no way. That's why even you see all the great men in the Bible, you look at how they started their ministry or they started anything God was calling them. They started with fear. Moses, he's saying, "I am a stammerer." What? Oh, you can't use me. I'm a stammerer. Look at
Yes.
Gideon. Gideon is like, "Oh no, 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 no. Nobody comes out of no mighty man comes out of my village. We don't even have soldiers from our village. I can't be that person." You know what I mean? So literally, that thing has to scare you that you don't even see it is you. It is
Yes.
when, like, I look at Gideon. Gideon had to ask God, if it's you really, give me this sign. If it's you really, give me this sign. And God delivered every time. So that's the same thing I tell people. Verify. Let ask the Lord. Let him give you the sign. And again and again. He's not a man that he should lie. He'll give you the sign if you ask. If you don't ask, then you're just gonna believe your small mind and you're gonna walk away from things that would have blessed you.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah. So this takes us to the next question. I remember, as you know, we had the convention like a month ago. Um, I have told you before that with this business, my mind, yes, I was in the business, I knew what I wanted, but still I had some issues with my mind, mind shift. And I remember that time I was going for the convention, I told God, direct me to a person who will help me thrive in this business. Direct me to somebody who can help me have like a new perspective in this business, because as you know, this business can give you anything. Whatever you want, this business can give you. But for me, I was
Yes.
like feeling so limited.
Mhm.
We went there on Thursday. I didn't have any connection on Friday, no connection on Saturday, no connection on Sunday, no connection. And I was like, oh my goodness, I am going back home to Nebraska with the
Mhm.
same McKenna is going home. And that morning, I was just seated there crying to God and saying, God, I told you to give me somebody who can help my mind shift and take away the fear, because I was still afraid. I
Mhm.
was still afraid. That fear, like,
Mhm.
oh, people will say, oh, what? You see, sometimes you mind about how people will say. And that really kept holding me back. And I remember that time we met on a Sunday evening after everything was done. I'm so
Mhm.
grateful to this other Kenyan who said, hey, I said, "Oh, I'm doing this in business," and this that person said, "Talk to that man there." And that's how the conversation started. So
Yes.
I know for you this might be different, but I want to ask you this, and for the sake of people who are listening to us or are watching us, what mindset shift have you experienced since starting this business?
Fantastic. One of the things I'll tell you right now is this, that first of all, you never stop growing, because anything that is not growing is dying. Just know from to this day. And
Oh, wow.
unfortunately, most of us stop growing as soon as we finished maybe high school, or some of us finished university. So literally, we die at 21 and we wait to be buried at 70 or 50. That's the unfortunate
Yeah.
thing. And we go for so many years where we are just existing, not living. And God says,
Mm-hmm.
this is the land of the living, not this is the land of the existing. If you're not growing, you're really exactly just existing. It's almost like saying you're recycling this 1 year over and over and over and over and over. That's why the same fears, the same things, you're experiencing the same things in the same lens until you start growing. Another thing I always tell people, God is a God who's going to take you from one glory to another glory, from another glory. So if your year ends up the same with the way it started, it means the stagnation is in the mind. It's not
Yes.
because God is not, it doesn't have those high glories for you ready set up for you. So unfortunately, especially for us Christians, we don't do anything other than, you hear people tell you, I read the Bible. I say, It's good to read the Bible, but if you're not reading things that can also increase your understanding, you'll understand that
Yes.
Bible the way you understood it yesterday. Most of us, the Bible says the scriptures, where there's those scriptures are milk for the babes, and then there's the meat of the scriptures. Most of us die on the milk of the scriptures. We never even get to the meat of the scriptures. So that's the foundation. I would just want you to understand that yes, it is normal to stick this way until you have an intention to grow. You have to be intentional about your growth and say, you know what, I have to grow, Lord. I
Mm,
remember even when we met on Monday, and I told you, when circumstances was making you walk and walk and walk, so we couldn't connect for a minute. You walked for long distance before we could connect. And I told you
yes.
that was also intentional. God was still answering your prayer, and He needed you to go all those things, because remember, you didn't even told me you had prayed about this. I'm hearing your prayer for the first time, but you can remember the words I was telling you. God had to make you answer your prayer. God was
Yes.
answering your prayer. You've been praying about this, and you hadn't told me this, but I was telling you at that point, God had to answer this, and you're gonna have your breakthrough. You had to pay the price. That all our walking was paying the price, while you're losing some weight. You are also losing some of the things that were holding you. He had allowed
Yes.
you to go around to make sure that you lose some of that mindset before you actually get your breakthrough. So the truth of the matter, like I said, when I came here, I literally have set my mind in a certain way. I see things in a certain way, because I
Yes.
had a mentor who explained this thing very well. He told me, until you understand, every one of us, there's nobody who's different. There's nobody who has monopoly over anything. Nobody has monopoly over wisdom. Nobody has monopoly over spirituality. Not even you being a Christian, you're more spiritual than an atheist. You don't have any monopoly. We don't have any monopoly of
Yeah.
anything. It just comes down to, you have two spheres of your mind. One side of your mind is called the left hemisphere, and the other side of the mind is your right hemisphere. Now I want you to think of them as two dogs. One is a good dog and one is an evil dog. Just think of it them that way. If you feed the evil dog, you'll see more evil showing up. If you feed the righteous dog, you see more righteous come out. And this feeding is what I'm calling attention. If your attention is on your left side, you're seeing things on the left side. So now at this point, if you take your attention to the left side, it is going to see things in only the lens of the left. Which part of
Yeah.
it is? It sees in fear. It sees
Mm,
in things to scare you. It sees in doubt. All those things exist on your left side. Why does it see it that way? Because that's the way it thinks it's protecting you. That's
mm-hmm.
the way it thinks, so that it can keep you in the familiar. It wants you
Yes.
to stay in the familiar. And unfortunately, see how God works. God doesn't work in the familiar. It's the reason why He wants to take you from one glory to another glory, because He doesn't want you to dwell in your left side. Because He knows if you dwell on your left side, you'll be stagnant. You
Oh,
understand?
forever.
You will not do
Mm-hmm.
the things that you supposed to do because fear is crippling. Once you triple fear, and I can tell any of your audience just to understand, it starts with lack of understanding or lack of knowledge. When you don't have knowledge, then it's gonna tune you. The next thing you're gonna have is doubt and worry. Doubt and worry tune into fear. Fear now goes into a deeper place because that's also now you start to get into vibration and frequencies. Now fear tunes you to where you're stagnant and you're not feeling good. Because you're not feeling good, your body is also a biology, start to produce certain chemicals that are starting to break your body down. So now you start
Mm,
having this thing, you are out of ease or dis-ease. Because you're out of ease, your diseases start operating in your body. They start very simply before. If you don't take care of this stuff, you keep disintegrating all the way down because there's also a law of disintegration. It never goes up until you tackle it with an intention. So you keep going down from disease to breaking down, and before you know it, a nervous breakdown. Before you know it, hey, that never your body is only killing you. You're killing your own body, but only why? Because you started with the ignorance on top. That is
mm-hmm.
gonna cause you. On the opposite of it, knowledge opens you up to your understanding. Understanding
Yes.
causes something that is very important, which is faith. Now you can operate faith, you have hope, you'll see things a little bit different no matter what you're going through. And with that faith, it feeds into your action. Faith goes into action. Action causes you to acquire things and have things and do things and make things and have and do and be somebody who's joyful. And that gives you joy and feels your body is feeling good and it has meaning and fulfillment and your life is getting better. So
Yeah.
I'm saying all that to understand if you're on the left side, you're spiraling down. If that's the only lens you're using to see the world. If you're on the
Mm,
right side, you are spiraling and going up, up, and up, and you're gonna go from one glory to another glory. That's why to me now, when I look at it, that's what God was talking about in Genesis when He said, "I set inside of you two twins." You understand? You gotta choose which
yeah.
twin is you're gonna operate through. To me, this is that those are the two twins. So once you're on the right side, you really understand. It will also want you to. You just start doing development. You start understanding. You're not gonna stay with the same thoughts. You're gonna be renewing your thoughts. You're gonna be reading new things. It's gonna be taking you to things that want you to renew and become a new being. It's almost like
Yeah.
it's almost the analogy of saying, the new word of God that comes to you needs you to be a new wineskin. You can't stay with the old self and you hold the new wine that God is sending to you. So you keep
Mm,
renewing your mind, and as you renew your mind, God sees you are renewed. He pours in the new wine. He pours you the new things that are gonna be, and you see, you're just gonna be so fired up. Even when you come to this business, you'll find out the same thing. For a person who comes in and they're on the left side, it will seem like the business is not working for them. It seems like
mm,
things are so hard. And I tell people, it's not because things are hard that you don't dare. It is because you don't dare that you make things hard. See, it's the opposite. Some people say, "Oh, it is so hard, so I can't do it." I say, "No, no, no. It is not because things are hard that you don't dare. It's the opposite. If you don't dare, then things become hard. Because the
mm,
good news is when you dare, then the Spirit of God comes over and takes over and helps you through things. When you're not daring, the Spirit of God stays aside and waits for you to dare. So it's
yeah.
almost telling you, you are doomed if you're on the left side. You are
Mm,
doomed if you don't you don't dare. You're doomed if you don't take the risks in life. Because at the end of the day, even in your deathbed, you
mm,
not be crying over the risks you took. You'll be crying over the risks that you never took. So
wow.
just to conclude this, I'll say this. There's a man that I listened to and he told me something that has always remained with me. He said to me, "Do you know the most richest place on earth?" And I thought maybe it's America. I thought maybe it's a place where they have a lot of gold. Maybe South Africa in the gold mines. And he said no, it's the graveyard. They said it's the richest place on earth because so many people are buried while their treasure, their dreams, everything is still within them. And they say, be one of the person that when you die empty because you emptied everything, every good thing that God had put inside of you. You let it be out.
Mm,
So I tell anybody, when I came to this business, I realized it's such a nice vehicle that I'm going to empty myself, because God has been preparing me for a very long time for such an opportunity like this. And I'm so glad that I'm here, and I'm glad our path crossed. So I give it back to you.
Wow, thank you so much. For sure, I tell many people since I started this business, my ministry also has changed. My way of looking at my ministry, the people that I work with, has really shifted in a big way. So it is a blessing. So maybe in 1 minute before we finish, we still have those people who are in their, can I call it a survival mood? People
Mhm.
who are like they are just there, and maybe they are just feeling stuck. Um, and even after we share our stories, they're like they don't know what to do. What can you tell somebody who is out there? Maybe they have seen how our system works, the support group that we have, the mentorship and all that, our success stories, but still they are in their survival mood. In 1 minute, what can you tell them?
In 1 minute, I say nothing will change unless you change. And the antidote to a fear is action. If you never take action, nothing changes. Even if you're a Christian, you understand faith without action. You can pray all day long until your knees are out. It is a time where you gotta walk in your prayers for God to move and do some things. So the key thing that I just tell people is that you, once you understand that it's not even this business that you're afraid of, it's the mind that you have set yourself in. So the question is, I just ask a few questions that might help you. That if you're not working on the future that you want, do you see who would come and work that future for you? Who make the future that you want? And if it's not this business, then which one will it be for you? And if it's not you, then who is going to help
Yes.
your family to build a legacy?
Mhm. Yes.
And if it's not now, when are you going to wake up to the smell of coffee to understand? Unless you do something different, nothing will change. That's what I'll say with this 1 minute that you gave me. So with that, I give it back to you, our wonderful sister.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you. I wish we could continue, but I'm so grateful. I think we'll be able to do this again. Otherwise, for those who are watching, thank you for your time. For those who watch later, our desire here, our intention here is just to let you know that, yeah, probably where you're feeling, that is where you are in that fear we've talked about and all that. We were once there. But right now, this business has helped us in so many ways that we have grown, and we are so much grateful that we took the action. Otherwise, God bless you. We'll see you again. Shalom.
Thank you so much. Shalom.
Okay, bye.
Bye.